Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amara Chimeka. I'm one of the founders of Purple Shelves Literary Services, book editing, publishing, and distribution company in Nigeria and the UK. And we're the hosts of this panel titled The Book Sale Convo Challenges and Solutions. To start up this panel, I'd like to call my panelists. Please put your hands together for Sevio Badamosi, Sukomi Akimboye, and Tunji Anjori. Thank God, you're going to give us tips today, Sevio.
I think we should be starting with Servio. He's the expert here.
Okay, so we want to, what exactly, like, in the last 5 years, what can you give, like, your own overview, or, you know, like, give a small take. No, everybody will talk, don't worry. Give a small take of, you know, your observation of the book markets, both book and comic markets in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. The reason why I was thinking is because you mentioned the last 5 years, which is a tricky number because that is COVID era. You know,
okay, let's spread to 10.
No, it's fine. I can address it according to 5 years or 10 years. It's not an issue. So the thing about it is there's pre-COVID and post-COVID. The world literally changed, and I don't think it's ever going to go back. All of the infrastructure you created to be able to be in all of the bookstores in Nigeria or even Africa pretty much disappeared, and you had to start from scratch. Mm-hmm. At that point in time, are you going to start from scratch? Because there's a digital landscape that is attractive to the younger audience. And also companies like Zoom were beating companies like ExxonMobil in profits, even though eventually Zoom started going back to office. So the thing about it is there are 5 sort of major issues in our industry, and I believe everyone here will agree. Financing is an issue. Visibility is an issue. Marketing is an issue. Distribution is an issue. Earlier on, when we were having sort of a pre-session, I remember the 4th issue. I don't remember it right now. But those are sort of the major issues, and arguably visibility might be a major one. Once upon a time, like Sergio was saying, our panoramic comic books were available in all of the bookstores in Lagos. But then when high traffic areas like the ShopRites and the Ikeja City Mall, the Glendoras, went out of business during COVID. Schools went out of business during COVID. They were using public service announcements from like mosques and church to educate people in that period. When that happened, and we had to now start redeveloping our distribution model, it almost was like, does this make any more sense? You know, do we lean in a little bit more on digital, or do we find new ways? So I think intellectual property comes in play. And also, I want to speak to the kids here. I know some of them are at the back with the cosplay people and checking out new stuff. But two kids are going to go away with our Queen Amina Part 1 and 2, and one adult. What's an event without a giveaway? So I think I've spoken a little bit. I'd like other speakers to speak, starting with Servio and then Sukomi, if you permit me.
Okay. My attitude to the work I do largely has been that I know that this is an essential service that the country needs, that everybody needs, and I tend to approach it first from that angle of rendering an essential service that cannot be taken away from any society that is to continue to exist. And then again, there's that angle that sees the creative industries first. In our part of the world, it is relatively new. A lot of people even have no idea that it exists. They don't have ideas about the career pathways that are possible in this terrain. Most of our institutions of higher education don't even have training programs in most areas like this. So most of us who have worked in this industry, and I'm sure 1-2 generations before us, either started this purely out of passion or interest, or they got some sort of foreign training outside of there. So this is one of the essential things that a platform like this helps us to democratize. Because they are growing up, Geek up, comic what? Where will you go to? How will you tell your parents at home that this is what you want to go and do? They will look at you. So yeah, this is coming right up. This has been going on right now. I will refer to maybe the past 10 years as the period in which we are starting to turn the corner. For example, now we are not where we are going at all, but we are not where we were either. Now, so there's that challenges because we are bootstrapping, we are building things from the scratch. These things practically don't exist in this climb. And as it is with usually everybody who is a pioneer at anything. Now, so far, you be.
Sorry, can I just interject? I like to support Servio and put this in a relatable format. The music industry today is, you can't go anywhere internationally and you are not hearing Afrobeat. To the point whereby there are Chinese Afrobeat artists. So what Servio is saying is, in the 90s, I want Two-Face, Remedies, Plantation Boys. If they didn't start, you know, there's no where it is today. So it's not that, okay, I'm sure some people here don't even remember the 90s. I'm sorry I'm exposing our age or my age. But yeah, the truth about it is when you build a kite, sorry, I think very visual in my cerebral cortex. I see things as I'm thinking. When you build a kite and the storm comes, it is impossible. That kite is going to fly. It is impossible. So the pioneers, it's laborers or whatnot, but there's a commercial critical mass that is inevitable.
Very true. Speaking of the factors that are affecting book sales in this country, he's right in the sense that there are two major things that I look at, and that is visibility and distribution. I think visibility comes because of we haven't proven the relevance of this. That is the reason why we don't have that visibility. Now, visibility comes with a lot of aggressive marketing. Now, most people, when they do books, I don't know if they check numbers, but in marketing, 1% of those you market to is actually the demographic that will buy your product. 1%. So if you have a marketing budget that reaches 10,000 people, only 1% is buying it. So if you said, oh, I marketed to 10,000 people, I'm expecting sales of like 5,000, it's a lie. Then you don't know your numbers. Now we have a high volume of a high population. I mean, Lagos has about 30 million people, over 30 million right now, alone. 70% of that population is a youth population. That 70% is online. Now, I'm speaking about the present. The relevance of the music industry went from purely entertainment to a money-generating machine. And they had to prove that this could generate money because it literally flipped overnight. I remember we didn't used to spend money on music videos back in the day. And music videos were just like this passion project that you just do, so that people would just see you on camera. I remember them Remedies. There's one particular club they used to use in Ibadan for all their music videos that we all knew. But guess what? Somebody, then P-Square just woke up one day and did their Do Me video. And the entire music landscape just transformed from that moment. But like I said, it's critical mass. It's like a car that is speeding. You slam the brakes. Between you slamming the brakes and the car stopping, that is where the main force of it is. So now, our industry, as the book industry, if we don't focus on visibility, I'm speaking to those who, you have a book, you publish, you're interested in publishing, I would advise you to take, charge of your marketing and be aggressive about it. Then that will affect funding, which will give us the capacity to grow distribution.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. So we've essentially diagnosed, basically we've done a lot of diagnosis with regards to what's wrong with the book market. Can we start to propose solutions? Bros, like you said, you're starting up, you're like every pioneer is of ahead, honestly. And you know, the more you kept on referring to remedies, it's so painful that now that music has become a national cake, they're not exactly, I hope that's not our lot. We passionate pioneer people.
I
I
think
hope
it's
that
about
doesn't
staying
become our
relevant.
lot. Pardon?
I think it's about staying relevant.
Okay.
It's just simple fact of life. Whether you started it, you got there first, it doesn't matter. Nobody knows who bought the first car in Nigeria. Right? Do you? Exactly. So it doesn't matter if you got there first. If you want to stay there, stay relevant. That's not to, I'm not bringing them down that they were not relevant. They did an amazing job, but their time came and went.
So if I hear you, what you're saying is that visibility has to be a major goal. Like you have to consistently, staying relevant.
Yeah. Another reason for that issue is in the world today, marketing is everywhere. You can't pick up your phone without seeing an ad. There's so much that is available that to sustain interest in your product requires constant face time. You understand? You have to see it so many times that it sticks into your subconscious.
Okay, great. So I'll come to you, Tunji and Sevio, but I need you to break it down. So, for example, say posting on social media, right? How many posts a day? Is there like something for consistency? So, okay, the minimum requirement is 3 posts, 3 reels a day. Some people, you see a lot of marketers, a lot of doctors online.
Okay.
Can you give like actual specifics?
Okay, all right. If any digital marketer comes to you and says, if you don't do less than 4 posts a day, it won't work. I'm going to say right now, from my personal opinion, personal experience over the years, that's a lie. What you need is consistency. If you do 1 post a day, that 1 post a day is at 9 a.m. Every day at 9 a.m. You will catch the attention of everybody who is online at 9 a.m. Eventually, it will stick. That's the thing with marketing. Marketing is a long game. Now, if we say sugar, what's the first product that comes to your head? Cube of sugar. Right? When was the last time you saw their advert? That sugar, that blue sugar box. When was the last time you saw the advert on TV?
Never.
But they did their marketing in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe early 90s. Because even growing up, I don't think I saw a lot of their adverts. Yeah. But they've stuck. They were so consistent. They are literally now the face of the product. If you just sugar, that's it. Milk, everybody say, I pick milk. Before the rest now started, coming along. So that's what it takes. Consistency.
Okay, Tunji. Based on the diagnosis that we've given, can we begin to bring treatments?
Okay, so before we go into remedies for the industry, I like interactive sessions. And there's been a young man in the 3rd row. He's been diligently listening to what we're saying, while other kids are more engaged in physical stuff. So if there's one of the waiters, not waiters, runners. I'm hungry, I've not eaten. One of the runners can please get the mic across to him.
Sorry, please.
I'd like to get his name, find out age, school, and also interests. Because I want him to be the first winner of Queen Amina Part 1, Part 2. So it's the man in the white and black multicolored shirt, the young man.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Emmanuel.
Okay, what is your interest in the industry? Do you want to be a writer, a publisher? Are you an artist? Do you like comic books? What is your interest? Why are you here today? Is what I'm asking.
Comics.
Comics. Okay. Do you enjoy reading them or you want to produce?
Reading, I love reading.
Reading. Okay. What's your favorite Nigerian or African comic book? And then what's your favorite international comic book?
I don't have any. Really.
You don't have any. Okay, thank you. Please, can somebody give him Queen Amina Part 1 and Part 2? He has won a prize. Thank you. I'd like to take a picture with you before the session ends. So the remedy for our challenges, we probably need to look at this past, present, and future. What else can I do other than be in school? I studied business administration because they didn't have law in the school that I went to at the time. They have law after a year or two after. I went to Babcock University in Ogun State, Ileshan Remo. So I think that the creative industry in Nigeria, and if we are being honest to a large extent, I don't want to have main character syndrome and believe Nigeria is the main character in every African scenario. But the African continent is looking towards us for quite a number of things. So there's a huge market. In my mind, I believe that our creative industry is a major contributor to the economic scenario of the country. In a ShopRite or an Ebano or a Daytona supermarket or an Adiba, at the checkout counter when you are paying, you see a GQ magazine, you see a Super Strikers, you see a Tintin. We need to start having local publishers at that checkout counter. So if a book is 500, they don't have change, they can suggest, do you want to pick this up? I'd rather pick up a book than leave my change with anybody. Because it's the piling up of this change that will enable them buy the new S-Class. It's the truth. It all ramps up, it compounds. So the truth about it is, Nigeria is in an interesting place, politically and economically. Truth be told, the world is in an interesting place, politically and economically. I'm not going to mention any countries by name, but there are certain countries we were led to believe were superior to everyone else, and that they were on 5.0 CGPA. Meanwhile, we're finding out they are on 2.2 or 2.1. I don't believe in the fundraising model. We've always gotten funding out of pocket, bootstrapping, like Sophia has said. So the fact that there's a governmental institution we can tackle, I think it's a big deal. Secondly, we need to make business cases to private institutions as to why they need to use our products and our services as a distribution model. So it's a business deal. You pay, your advert is at the back or whatever, we have X amount of reach, as opposed to a kind of, please just help me. Okay. You can't beg for business to be sustainable.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Savio.
Okay, two things first. Two things from my response. One is on collaboration, and one is on having people who have an understanding of business coming to the industry to take charge of things. Because a lot of people in the creative industries, nascent as it is, are doing this purely out of passion, out of interest, and are largely running it out of pocket. We need to have business administrators, people who know how to build, run, and manage things on a daily basis. Yet, I don't know if anybody who sells spaghetti has a passion for spaghetti, for example. This person just knows that spaghetti, there are people who love to eat spaghetti, for example, and I want to get it to everywhere possible that these people are, and get it as close to them as possible. That's why I'm saying that one of the things I think we need to do is we collaborate amongst ourselves as creatives a lot, very well. We do that fairly well. But I'm saying that we also need to begin to build business bridges, with people who are in other sectors of business, who understand distribution, who understand marketing. The reason why we run away from marketing a lot in the creative industry is the fact that it is a big budget thing, and it's a long-term game, and there are no guarantees for you. You can spend 5 million, 10 million naira on marketing, on a marketing effort, and you get less than 50,000 naira back. nobody wants to do that because how much money do you even have in the first place? So you would rather take that 1 million, 2 million naira and put it in the book, and then you have 1,000 copies that you can point to and say, this is what I did with the money. But of course, if it is marketing naira or marketing dollars, for example, it just dissipates. It disappears into thin air. And maybe what you get back. So, but I feel that if we begin to collaborate more with people in other sectors who understand these things, right? And that's also one of the reasons why I am not as enthusiastic as you are about the creation of the arts, culture, and creative economy ministry. It's just, it's basically what we call PHCN, Problem Has Changed Name. So basically, if you look at this country has 15 thereabout federal government agencies and parastatals for the arts and culture sector. At least around 15 or more. I don't know, besides the people who work in these industries or in those ministries and those agencies, and perhaps a few friends and associates who head these things, there's not one benefit I can point at through the years that these people have done to the industry in the country. Wow. So why should I be excited that a ministry has changed name when that ministry still has all these non-functional parastatals under it? Nothing is going to change. They are just, the minister has been going around trying to start the African Grammy Awards, whatever that means. Whatever that means, that's somebody you think I should believe and put my hopes in. Nothing is going to happen. They are going to allocate big millions and billions for it. And 4 years, 3 years from now, all of us will wonder where the money went to. Okay, so I'm saying that these are ways in which we need to look at this thing. Who do we collaborate with? And there's always a lot of ideas, radical ideas, varying ideologies in the industry. So you want something to go this way, you want something to go that way. But Afrobeat, for example, now, everybody keeps talking about it. But you see what those guys are doing. Look at our content creators now. A lot of them before now couldn't even earn money from the leading social media platforms. They couldn't earn money. And then, so what they began to do was, people came together who understood the business of it. They go to Facebook, for example, and say, oh, okay, there are thousands of content creators in Nigeria. Now, you don't know these people. You don't know which ones are farming their views, and you don't know which ones their views are organic. But let us be a go-between. Between you and these people, we would vet them. We would help you identify those ones that are the leading ones that have genuine following and a genuine audience, and help you identify how to pay them, for example. And they've helped a lot of content creators in Nigeria scale because they're now making money. They're making a lot of money. With that money, you want to buy more technology, right? To enable you to do it on a bigger, broader scale. So it's things like that we have to think outside of the creative aspect and think more about the business. The creative, we have it on lockdown. It's how do we turn this thing into money? When there is a bigger cake, everybody eats. The person who is doing digital marketing knows, oh, I can make a living out of this. Then the person goes home, thinks about all the strategies that can help us sell what we have to sell. Because the person knows he or she is going to get a fair reward for that. So I think it's opening it up such that we can partner with people in other spheres of human endeavor, other spheres. And that's one of the things I feel can help us go to the next level that we all desire.
Well, thank you. Okay, so Sukomi, while you're speaking, you could just give us, because the next panel has to come up, so you could just also give us your parting words.
Okay. What I wanted to address was distribution. Now, I don't believe in, I have one knowledge until I test it. Let it make money for me before I'll share it. Of that distribution network, I think distribution would work better. That way, we would have a longer reach than trying to go it alone with your 2 books. No matter how amazing it is, they are looking at it from the numbers perspective. The other suggestion I would give would be for individual distribution. Now, this idea, I've said it to him many times. I don't know why nobody has ever tried it. You want to have a book. Everybody's always thinking of bookstore, bookstore, bookstore. But here's the rule about hunting in the jungle. You go where the prey is. The lion doesn't sit on a tree and wait for the antelope. It goes to the watering hole. The people that want to buy the books, where are they? You want to sell to secondary school students? Go to the schools. We have these bicycles that sell Nescafe, all right? They are mobile. Fan eyes, they are mobile, right? They can meet you wherever you are. You don't have to go to a fan eye store before you can buy yogurt. I fight with my kids every day. Once I'm leaving the school, next night, Daddy, I want ice cream. Because the guy is right there by the gate. And I have to, no ice cream today. No, it's not good for you. No, it's sugar. But guess what? He's there, they see him every day. So why don't we try? I don't think it will cost a lot to have one bicycle person. All it sells are books and merchandise, T-shirts, stickers. There are schools in Surulere that are like back to back, fence to fence, 4 schools. Target them at break time, at closing time, every day. They will see the person there. And because it's mobile, it doesn't cost you much. When the school is not open, he's not there, he's somewhere else. You can keep moving. You can just give the person a sector. This, like I said, is advice for individual distribution. You can give it a try and see what you get out of it.
Thank you very much, Sukomi. Tunji, we're wrapping up now, so. Okay, anyone. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for showing up, for your time. Great conversation. And the truth about it is, when we were talking about consistency regarding marketing, we ourselves, the people who enjoy the books, the comic books, and the people who produce, we have to be consistent. It's not enough to have one event or another event 3 months from now, and then nothing has happened in between. We have to be consistent with such conversations, online and offline. If there are any kids here that want a free comic book, the first person to come to the stage will get it. And the guy who gave the mic to the kid, I would give him Queen Amina Part 1 and 2. I said 1 adult and 2 kids. Any kids who want free comic books, come to the stage now or forever hold your peace. Another thing is, books have IP. Come to the stage to get your free comic book now. Books have IP that can be adapted. Why are you crying now? What's your name? Daniel. What's your last name? Come and take now. Your last name is what? Chim Dim Dum. Okay. Thank you. Be careful on your way down. Books can be adapted to movies, music, games, and TV shows, all kind of stuff. It doesn't just end there. There are publishing deals like Tommy, the girl who did Children of Blood and Bone. There are publishing deals like that. So the revenue model of our industry is almost seamless. The guy who gave the mic, please come and get your copy of Queen Amina Part 1 and 2. I don't want to run too long. Sorry, what's your name as well? Riolua. What's your last name? Okay. Thank you. Nice to meet you. So I think it's a great conversation. I'll definitely share contact with Amara and Servio, and we will keep having these conversations. And you guys expect more books, expect more comic books from us. We will be consistent. I hope you guys will be too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tunji. Thank you so much. Servio, any final?
Okay, because there are a lot of young people here, I think that what I would like to say in closing is that one of the biggest blessings that we have as young people living now is digital technology, the internet, for example. So if the environment in which you are does not have the ability to help you interpret your dream, please go online. Look for groups, look for courses, look for programs, look for events, look for materials and resources that can help you become better at that dream, at that passion that you have. And at some point, I believe in our lifetime, this country will catch up. But again, this country, the internet also gives you that opportunity to succeed from anywhere you are, and to even maybe, if the time and opportunity presents itself to you, to live and go to other parts of the world in pursuit of those dreams that you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Tunji, Sukomi, Servio, it was nice having. I absolutely enjoyed this conversation. I was even surprised when they told me how much time had passed, right? Thank you so much. Thank you, Geek Pop-Up, for having us.